the goddamn thing. Who gives a fuck about a plane? No wonder people are getting mugged. Because I want the plane to pass by. Fuck the plane. Fuck the fucking plane. It's Monday. Tuesday, the 27th, the motherfucking August. It's almost over. What are you doing with your fucking life? The church, or what's happening now, is brought to you by Zip Recruiter. Listen, you know how hard it is to hire somebody today with all these momos walking around? It's real hard. You put up a sign, next thing you know, you got 22,000 applicants. Nobody's qualified. You got to sit there. They're lying to you. End that. It's over. You know why? Zip Recruiter's here. ZipRecruiter sends your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards. But they don't stop there. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience and invites them to apply for your job. And right now, the church family, you can try ZipRecruiter. It's the busy season for free. That's right. We're opening up for free. You get it. Right now by going to ZipRecruiter.com/church. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And guess what else it is? Oh, shit. I'm making you money when you fucking sleep, cocksuckers. Here you go. You ready? It's football season. That means ching ching, one bet a week, no parlays, no teasers, and take that fantasy and shove it up your mother's pussy. We're going straight up gangster. You understand me? With who? With my bookie. Listen, this church is brought to you with my bookie. Football season's upon us. You like winning fucking money, right? You like betting sports, right? Well, I'll tell you where I put my money. You ready? MyBookie.com. Right now, they'll double your first deposit. Use promo code CHURCH, CHURCH, to get 100% bonus on your initial deposit up to $1,000. Who does that for you? Nobody. Uncle Joey, that's it. So visit mybookie.ag today. That's MyBookie. Grab a pen. MYBOOKIE.AG. And don't forget to use the promo code CHURCH for you dumb fucks. CHURCH. And start going to church because you need it. Anyway, create your account and claim your bonus. You bet, you win, you get paid. And that's that. All right, cocksuckers? Go to mybookie.ag. Kick this motherfucking Mule Lee. Are you fucking kidding me or what? That's how to start a fucking podcast, motherfuckers. Got Jessica Wellington in the house. You got the Grace Killer. What's happening, Jessica?
I'm good. I got my tooth pulled today, but other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, and then you showed up with 2 fucking narcos. What good is that? You get your tooth pulled, you stop at Rite Aid, you fill the prescription, and we have a little narco party in the afternoon. Everybody hits their dick with their hammer. Nobody feels nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even think about it. I did ask Felicia if I should bring something because I wanted to try to be classy.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll bring like a cheese plate or something.
No, it's either
but I could have just brought the drugs.
Drugs or a fucking sandwich. That's it. We want drugs or a sandwich from fucking Encino, the spicy Italian.
And you prefer the drugs.
Yeah, but we always prefer the drugs. Heroin, barbiturates, narcotics, whatever you got, we're in. We won't take them that day, or maybe we will. But we'll take them one night when they're needed. Take is needed. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you never keep anything. Like you don't take a bag. You take it immediately. You never save anything.
That's what I tell people. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? What's going on, Jessica Wellington? It's a pleasure to have you on.
I'm so excited to be here.
Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from North Carolina and Florida.
Okay. 2 of the worst fucking hellholes in Florida. What part of Florida?
Lakeland.
Pure hell.
Yeah.
Pure hell. You can't go to Lakeland. You can't go to Tampa. Can't go to Orlando. You got gay ghosts, right?
Gay
go to fucking Orlando. You got all those gay guys that got shot. They gotta be ghosts.
Oh, God.
You check a hotel room here. Ooh. Got a bunch of gay ghosts in Orlando flying around. You're standing on line at the bank. Your asshole's itchy. You're like, what the fuck's going on? There's a little gay ghost scratching your ass.
And the podcast is over already.
Listen, I'm 56. What am I going to do? Take away? You can't take away my wings. You can't take away my wings. You know what I'm saying? I've done my time.
What is your ghost going to sound like?
Oh, he's going to be a bad motherfucker. My ghost ain't going to talk. He's gonna fuck with your head. He's gonna hide your shoes. He's gonna take every sock. So you're left with only one sock for 1 foot. I'll take your gloves. That's the type of ghost I am.
You're gonna trip people.
Yeah, damn. I'm trying to write a book, and I had to come to an ugly conclusion about my life that I won the battle, but I lost the war. When I was a kid, Lee, like I could torture people forever. I could change your scenario if I want to. God gave me that gift that I could fuck with people's scenario, and I don't because it's an ugly gift to have. But I did it to my stepfather. I did it to my stepfather till I broke him. It took me 5 years to figure out his nut, and I broke him. And to this now, for the first time, I've admitted that it was me who put the wedge in between my stepfather and my mother because I couldn't have my game. If he stuck around, he wouldn't let me run my game. My mom let me run my game. So for me to get rid of him, I had to fuck with what he loved the most, which was his money.
I did that with some of my stepmoms, to be fair. I did, but my dad was a great guy until he drank. And then he was an asshole. Like, he just Jekyll and Hyde, and he would hit women. So a lot of it was me, like, trying to protect them, too. But there's a picture of me at my dad's, was my second stepmother at their wedding at the courthouse, and I was totally not for it. And I just looked like I had an attitude in every picture. I wouldn't look at the camera and all that because I didn't want it to happen.
Because he was the continuation of violence.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't pull her aside and said, "Get some headgear and a mouthpiece."
Well, half the time they would know beforehand. Now, this one I don't think she did, but also I was like 12. I don't think it was my spot to be able to tell her. You know what I mean? But when it did happen, I told her how, I took care of everything. I came in from basketball practice. I was so excited. I remember the first time. And then I come in and I see my stepsisters on the couch crying. And I was like, oh, shit, I know what's happening. Right? So then I just went to the kitchen, saw the bottle, poured it out. And I was like, okay, let's go. No, let's just go. While he's doing whatever he's doing right now, we need to go. And so I helped him in that way.
It's crazy how much the 70s and the 80s, for people who don't know this, there's a lot of younger people who listen to the podcast. There was a time in this country where every block had an abuser. Mm-hmm. There was one woman who lived on that block that always wore sunglasses, that her clothes would be on the front every morning, or his clothes. And in those days, the cops would just come and nobody would get arrested.
Yeah.
There's a horrible domestic violence situation that's always been etched.
That still happened with me. Even
etched in my soul.
In the 90s.
When you witnessed domestic violence, and it wasn't my house. I saw arguments in my house, and I saw my mother hit him with a fucking thing one night when he left. But the people 2 or 3 doors down from me, growing up in North Bergen, he was a drunk. And he would get home at 2, and he would just beat her. He beat her once a week. And it was well known. And nobody liked him on the block. Like, none of the kids. We'd flatten his tires. We'd do everything to him just to fucking annoy him, And I think one of the worst beatings, my dad pulled the gun on him, and they broke up. But if I knew her, she probably went back with him. They went to a different neighborhood, and the violence continued.
Yeah.
It's so weird how much the OJ thing changed the tone of the country. It was acceptable.
You're right.
I just watched something on TV the other day. There was a movie shot in the 80s, and it was still acceptable.
What about The Longest Yard? You'll bring to that one.
That's the 70s in the beginning, but it's so weird. Like, up to the 80s, it was still acceptable.
I remember 89, I was 5, and my dad got so drunk that he was holding a gun to me and my stepmom, pointing it at us to get on our knees and say our prayers. Yeah. So that was 89. And I remember I called the cops before, when I got older, and one of my stepmoms, she was out on the porch. It was raining. She had a black eye. And I call the cops, and they come, and then she says everything's fine. And I'm like, well, I'm gone. I'm not staying.
What happened to your real mother, if you don't mind me asking?
She overdosed.
How old were you?
I was 25.
Did you find her?
I did not. I was living in Florida at the time. It was kind of
very sorry
weird how that
to hear.
happened.
And where did she OD at?
In her trailer.
What kind of drugs? Heroin.
No, well, she did. I think it was just pills at this point. My mom had AIDS, but that didn't kill her. She had that for like over 10 years. But her drug of choice was crack cocaine.
You've had an interesting life. Yeah. Your eyes have seen a lot of things that a lot of people haven't seen. And that's always very interesting in a person. You see that in a person. It was really weird because a couple of weeks ago, you came up to me and you go, when can I do your podcast? And I go, when the timing is right. You know, I just don't book people. The timing has to be right. And I always knew you were the first door girl at the Comedy Store, but I didn't want to bring you in here for that, you know.
Fair enough.
We'll talk about that later on. I get on the plane last week and I put on the Mule, and you are playing the best fucking bull dyke I've ever seen. Dykes on bikes. You know? And I was very proud. Like
Thank you.
You know anything about me, I cheer when I see a comic. I cheer when I see a comic on late night, but I cheer more when I see a comic in a movie, because I feel that over the years, agents have not utilized us how they're supposed to utilize us. You ever watch a movie and, not to be egotistical, go, I should be in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I've done enough work that could have been my role. But the agents don't see it that way. The agents have the road. So they'll put you on the road first, because usually films and TV don't pay a lot of money.
Right.
So, especially in today's system. So when I saw you in that, I was like, God damn. You know, now I thought back to the auditioning process. What was it like to audition for Clint Eastwood? You know, did you meet him at the audition? He was there?
Yeah, this might be anticlimactic because I honestly just taped it. I was actually in Dallas at the time doing sets, and I went to a place that had it taped. I sent that in, and they just booked me off the tape.
How crazy is that?
Yeah. And that was it.
How many days you shoot?
It was just 2 days.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. And Clint, I did get to meet Clint because we were in the scene together. He was really nice. And he tried to make little jokes.
He's old.
Yeah.
He's old. When they get old like that, it inspires like I did a movie with Dick Van Dyke.
Aw.
He used to have a TV series on.
Oh, yeah.
Years ago, him and his son. And I got to be a bookie on one of the episodes.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it was a great fucking experience because I knew one of the writers. I forget his name. He passed away. Great guy, the Irishman. He lived in that building in Marina Del Rey where you don't leave.
Where you don't leave?
You don't leave. Like they got the movies there.
Nursing
they got
home?
Chinese.
Oh.
No. There's a building in Marina Del Rey that you just don't leave. They got Bally's. They got 24-hour fitness. They got Ralph's.
Oh, I see what you're
They
saying.
got Whole Foods. They got a movie theater. They got
I thought you meant like once you go in, you don't come out.
No, it's for people who don't want to leave. Dry cleaning, laundry, everything you need is in that building. You don't leave. We would be there writing, and he'd order desserts up from La Cafeteria, or what do you want to eat? Spaghetti? I'll order from this place downstairs. Everything is in this building.
Nice.
So I became dear friends with him. He wanted to write. He was from the Bronx, and he was one of Dick Van Dyke's closest friends. I couldn't believe it. And he hired me, and I did 4 days. And the first 2 days, I couldn't look at Dick Van Dyke. I would cry. And I would pray to God that he wouldn't come over to me. Like I had lines with his son and stuff. And then at one point, Dick looked at me and he goes, whoa, 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 you know, why do you have tears in your eyes? I go, you don't understand that you're everything to me. I learned how to speak English because of you. And he was like, what? What are
He
you
probably doesn't
talking
hear
about?
that every day.
No. People tell them probably they learned about comedy from watching him. When you work with a legend, what did you take away from Clint Eastwood? Like, what was it that made him stand out in front of you?
He seemed, I don't know, he just seemed easygoing. You know, it was everything that everybody was telling me, it seemed like that was the exact opposite.
How many takes?
We did a few, but that was mostly for him. Because he doesn't remember the lines like he used to.
Right.
So he just, he had to do them a few times.
He directs it.
Yeah.
Somebody else is a cinematographer. Mm-hmm. And he tells you the scenes and the cuts. Did you, what's that when You first go there and they see what the scene is. They call it something.
Blocking?
Blocking.
Oh yeah.
Did you block with him? How was he at blocking?
Well, he didn't have to do that. We did that.
Okay.
You know, he had stand-ins and all that for that stuff. Which I got to learn on Grace and Frankie what a stand-in is all about. And that's the way to act. That is the way to act. I didn't have to do anything. I was like, you mean I don't have to stand in my own light? Okay, I'll go have a coffee. I'll be back when it's time to act.
Did anyone do, like, my first job here was on a TV show, and I remember someone coming in, and before, like, my boss came up to me, like, don't look him in the eye. Like, did they say anything weird to you about Clint? And
Clint?
He turned out to be cool?
Actually, you know what? They all laughed at me, and they thought it was the greatest thing, because he had this thing of cherries that he was carrying around in the scene, because he was at a farmer's market, and he was eating these cherries. Well, we cut, and I just looked at him, and we were talking a little bit, and he was trying to tell little jokes, and I just took one of the cherries and ate it, and everybody thought that was just hilarious. That I would just go to, you know, upon myself and eat one of Clint's cherries, and he thought it was funny, and I was like, it's just, they're there, and I figured it was cool.
When he said dykes on bikes,
I know, thanks, Dykes.
he giggled or something. He giggled, and I could just, you know, when you work with people of that caliber, you go, Jesus Christ, I'm connected to Clint Eastwood now.
Yeah.
Like, I had a scene with Clint Eastwood. Like, when I did
crazy.
Analyze That, I didn't have a scene with De Niro. But I had a movie with De Niro. When I did Grudge Match. Now I'm connected to De Niro. You know, and I'm connected to De Niro through Death. What's the Deer Hunter? Because I did a movie with John, whatever, the white dude in there.
Oh.
So it's so weird when you start meeting people and making different connections. Like, now you connect this dot with this dot. It's really weird. You like acting.
I do.
Do you really like it?
I really do.
What do you like better, the stand-up or the acting?
Well, I love stand-up. I love making people laugh. But I find that I do that in both. So I like it. Even when I'm doing something serious, usually there's a part that you can make people laugh.
When did you start auditioning?
When I got here in like 4 years ago.
And you've been with the same agent since day one? I mean, you have a great look to you. I mean, somebody will sign you, you know, in a heartbeat. You know, you and I don't have the ordinary look.
That's why I love you. I watch your podcast all the time because I feel like we have a lot in common. And then Felicia always throws it in my face like, oh, Joey laughs just like that, or that's how Joey holds his mouth. And I'm like, what else? Well, that's what Joey did. He just did acting gigs to get him along and I was like, okay. You know,
yeah,
so
because nobody accepted me as a stand-up. You know, everybody said, well, you have to book a TV show to get on. So, did you take an acting class?
No, I used to do improv, though. I started with improv.
Okay.
Only like by a few months, and then I started doing stand-up as well.
Where did you go and study improv at?
I started at the Sacramento Comedy Spot in Sacramento.
Okay.
And when I got down here, I did I.O. because that was easy. I could hang out at the bar. I was actually like the only girl to work the door there, too.
And that was on Hollywood Boulevard before it closed. Where are they now?
They're gone. They're only in Chicago. There's no I.O.S. anymore. It's just I.O.
Really?
In Chicago.
And what happened to the one in Hollywood? They were doing so good for a long time.
I know, but they just didn't do things right. I think that...
No, it was...
Yeah, they needed to keep the bar open, I think, longer or something. Because...
The bar... Let me tell you something. I started hanging out there.
Yeah.
When I quit the Comedy Store in 2007 and got clean, by 2007 and a half, I would start... They had a stand-up. Open mic on Fridays at midnight. Or like 11. They did stand-up, and I would go over there. One guy would say, hey, you're Joey Diaz from the store, yeah, and he'd put me up. There was so much industry that hung out there. It was sickening. It was sickening. Everybody was looking for the next...
they were good at that.
Saturday Night Live guy. So I told somebody, I go, guys, you got to go do spots at the I.O. Like, I went 3 weeks in a row and came back with a card all 3 weeks. Nothing really transpired, but it'll let you know that people... I took classes there. I took sketch classes there.
Jeremiah did too, because, you know, he wants to do more sketch and stuff.
The problem with that I felt was that the people that were teaching the sketches were bums.
Yeah.
That's the problem I had. That, you know what? I could pay this guy $75 to teach me how to do sketch. Or I could actually pay a guy from Saturday Night Live to do a 6-week course. And I'll pay him the $200 a course over time to learn from somebody who's actually doing it. The problem with all the programs in this town that I feel bad for people now is that we don't know. So we don't ask.
Right.
But if I knew what I know now, when I come to the acting class, I'm going to go, is there some Michael Watts you're real?
Seriously.
But then again, I could be wrong because I could be dealing with who's the basketball coach that coached the Chicago Bulls to all those championships.
All I know is Dean Smith.
No, I love Dean Smith. The guy that coached the Lakers too for a while.
What the fuck is his
He was
name?
from the Chicago Bulls. He was then. When he was a Knick, he wasn't the best player in the world. But
he had experience.
He ended up becoming one of the best coaches of all time. So that's the other frame of thought. That I'm not here putting anybody down and just saying it. I notice that a lot of the people that teach courses here don't
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson wasn't the best. I remember being a kid and the Knicks putting Phil Jackson and me shutting the TV off. Like we lost. Phil Jackson's getting put in. He was known as a defensive specialist because he had lanky arms and he would throw you off. But he ended up becoming one of the best coaches of all time. And that's what pisses me off about this town, that they have a lot of half-cocked people selling people a dream that they're not qualified to sell. It really gets under my
Well, most of the time it's because they just didn't get to live their dream, so they're like, well, that's the best thing.
Well, that's what it is. You know, I know for a long time, like Ivana Chubbuck, that's a great acting school, especially if you're a woman, because Ivana breaks you down.
What's her name again?
Ivana Chubbuck.
Oh, sounds like an ice skater.
Ivana Chubbuck is a good lady, and her coaches are good people. Chris Fields, Chris is his name. Chris something. He teaches Tuesdays at 10 a.m. They have a really structured program. They have beginner, medium, and then your goal is to reach Thursday night. That's when the heavy hitters go there. And when you walk in there on a Thursday night, you look around, you're like, wow.
And you've done acting classes?
Oh, yeah. It's a muscle.
Yeah.
You know, everybody in this town complains. Well, how come I don't get booked? You know, nothing cracked me up more when somebody would go to Montreal, get a $500,000 deal to act in his own TV show.
And they can't act.
And then the network doesn't. I know that if I get a deal from Fox, I'm calling my manager and going, any show I qualified for, Fox better put me on to nourish me along, to make me a star. Put him on, write him into an episode of this, write him into an episode of that. So by the time his show gets picked up, he's established himself. It's really like a spinoff of all the other shows you've been on.
Yeah.
That's my train of thought. But that's not the train of thought here. Why does it surprise you that you think I went to acting class?
I think because a lot of stand-ups come from the notion of you just got to get up on stage and do it and not necessarily take a class. That's why.
I had the same notion, but you can't sell a $10,000 piece of presentation with a $10 pair of shoes on. I know that if, as a comic, if you're doing Spot the Store constantly, or the Improv constantly, or the Laugh Acting, or anything that you do in the store, that acting class, as a beginner acting class, on a night or an afternoon when nothing's going on, even if it costs you a car payment, it's not going to pan out that day, but it's going to pan out in 6 months because it teaches you how to get work as an actor.
I also can't see you with some of those actors. I could see you slapping them.
I am not a big. I am not a big fan of the phony act.
Yeah.
Okay? I am not a big fan of that. I think that you could talk all the Stanislavski and the training you want, and I'll show up with two motherfucking hard-hitting black motherfuckers, Queen Latifah and Ice Cube, and ask Ice Cube how many acting classes he took before Friday. Do you follow what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So I run from two schools of thought. You know, there's you'll never see a comic in a Harrison Ford movie. because Harrison Ford has always felt that our timing is better than anybody else's, and we do have exquisite timing. But I feel that you should know. Listen, man, the first time I got booked in this town, I got booked for a CBS pilot. Started with 9 pages of dialogue. When we shot the pilot, you know how many pages I had of dialogue? 0. Because I thought my arrogance and what I heard from loser comics was that you don't need an acting class. But I also had a mentor named Rick Dukerman who had done a bunch of movies with Tom Hanks and a bunch of people. And he told me to get into a class just to get myself around. Did I get into that class? No. Because the arrogance at the Comedy Store and all the other spots told me I didn't need an acting class. Then, because you and I have a distinguished look, we could book on just
looks. That's what happened. My first movie I did,
looks.
and I sucked.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And those people will never use you again. You'll never get a chance around them again.
Yeah.
And it's not your fault. So I booked 4 episodes on an NBC show. I'm ready to go. I had booked basketball. I didn't know what I was doing. When they told me to step on the mark, I had no idea.
Oh,
what they
yeah.
were talking
You're
about.
like, what?
You don't know how many times they had to grab me by the arm and move me up. And how many times they would say action. And I would talk without action. And I just, those guys, if they ever see me, they just spit at me. The 2 guys that did
Trey and Matt.
I was just a horror show. But this is what happens for being arrogant. This is what happens for being a know-it-all. The one that finaled me was the 4-episode arc on a show on NBC. If the people weren't as nice as and I got fired from the show from Telemundo. I got fired the first day. I was on a firing streak. So I booked Telemundo. That paid for my AFTRA. Basketball paid for my SAG.
Oh, no.
But when I went to do this NBC show, it was Sidney Poitier's daughter. It was John Aston's son. It was a bunch of sons and daughters from movie stars. So they were very nice to me. But if you don't think I went home feeling humiliated, I went home feeling humiliated.
Well, see, I was in ignorant bliss. I didn't know it was bad at the time.
Yes, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Because you're going to get the chance and you're going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And you're going to fuck it up against people that matter. And now, when your tape comes across that desk, they're never going to look at that tape again. Because you weren't prepared, you didn't stand right, you didn't fucking play. And then I was a comic, which meant, when am I shooting? It's a movie. Go eat a bagel. Go to your room. Me, I want to shoot right now.
Yeah.
So for 13 days on basketball, I did like 13 or 14 days on basketball. I bothered them all day long. When am I shooting? If I would have known what I know now, you bring a notebook, you bring an iPod, you watch TV, and you write jokes.
Yep.
Not me. I do better. I would sit there and watch fucking kickbox and look at the sweat from a pussy. She would wear black sweats and she would kickbox. What's her name? Jenny McCarthy?
I don't know. I'm thinking Sporty Spice.
And I'm sitting there and I'm watching that monkey getting nice and sweaty, and I would go in the trailer and bang one out and look through a little window in the bathroom because I'm a savage. You know what I'm saying? But the point being, when I done that movie, Josh Wolf had gotten the deal, and I called Josh like a man. I go, I can't keep doing this. I have the ability to book, but I don't know what I'm doing. Can you lend me money to get into an acting class? And Josh gave me enough money to sign up for a Vanichubik for 3 months.
Well, that was really nice of him.
Yes.
See, that's what held me back a lot is the money. So what I would do, especially in the beginning, was do background stuff, whatever little like commercial things I did for Coffee Bean and stuff. They didn't pay much, and there wasn't like any residuals or anything like that. But I would do it just to be around and absorb everything and see everything worked.
That's one hand. That's one way. But the other way, I go back to comedy. I never want somebody to see me as an extra.
Yeah. Well, that's how I got
follow
SAG
me?
eligible, though.
Right. No. There's people who get a slip. How many slips do you need?
3.
4.
3. I got it all in doing You're the Worst. I did like a featured background on You're the Worst.
I came from the school. If you're an open micer, you're an open micer. Don't go fuck around with people you're not supposed to get seen. And the same thing with acting. when I fucked up all those scenes, I called my agent like a man. I said, don't send me out for nothing else. He's like, what are you talking about? I go, because I'm just ruining it for you. So what I did was every Wednesday I would run to Kherson to 7-Eleven, and I would get that acting newspaper. They used to be, I think it's out of business now. And they had every college short film in there that was getting shot. And that Wednesday, instead of going to bed, I would send out the envelopes Thursday morning, so I would get the call, because they have no money. So your audition's usually going to be on Saturday and Sunday at some fucking library. I mean, I've been to auditions at the park.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when they have no money, you audition at a park.
The only problem with the ones where they don't pay at all is getting people to show up.
Well, listen, it's like stand-up. Nobody's going to give you... Nobody shows up to their first open mic in a Maserati. Okay, I remember doing a shot up here. Now you think about it. Seinfeld has just ended, and like the lowest end writer on Seinfeld got NBC or somebody to give him money for some sketch show. And I remember that I got paid $100 a day to get hit in the face with a pie. Like 15 fucking times. And after a while, I thought the dude was doing it on purpose. And I go, hit me with that pie again, and I'm going to break that fucking hand. You know, I still see the guy at the park. He's got a daughter, a granddaughter.
Does he run away from you or something?
No, he still comes over. Man, we still got a shot with that pilot. No, you don't. That's been 18 fucking
18 years.
Yeah. You know, it's just, I did 1,000 things. Let me tell you something. Let's be correct on something. You don't know how many nights I did my 1 o'clock spot at the store, and I had a 4 a.m. call downtown for some fucking no-paying job. I remember doing a movie with a bunch of Chinese people. When we went to the fucking review, it was just our feet.
What? Your feet were in
They
it?
just shot people's feet. Like that.
That was the whole movie?
There was such bad cameramen that we shot it right here by Vitello's, and it was a story about valets that were burglars, where you would eat and they would burglarize your house with your car and your keys. They would take your registration and go to your house and rob you. And I was one of the valets. And I'll never forget that I shot 2 fucking nights. 2 nights from 2 in the morning to 7, because they can't afford anything.
Right.
And I never forget they had this fancy, you know, Puerto Rican little premiere over on Sunset, like in some fucking dump. And I'll never forget leaving the movie going, there goes 2 nights of my life. I won't get back. But the camera guy was the camera guy from Bronx Tale, a Spanish guy. And I talked to him all night about it. So even though I worked for free, I picked up something.
Yeah.
So I worked for free in movies. I did. There's a dude I'm friends with now, Lenny Sotrano. I still remember doing a movie with him that we had to go into a porno house up in the fucking hills and start at midnight, 2 nights in a row. 12 to 12 shoots, 0 money.
12 to 12. Isn't that prime time for...
Midnight to lunch. 2 12-hour days. I did the mezzos for free. I played a gay mobster. That was Friday.
You played a gay mobster? I love
played
that.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for free. I shot that in 2003, and I was shooting movies then. There were certain things I would shoot just to, you know, it all comes down in the pipe. Like it all goes into a pipe and comes out of the bottom.
Yeah.
So when I didn't see a future as a stand-up, even though I was a regular, I attacked the acting. And I took acting classes. I stayed at Havana Chubbuck for about 6 months. And then all the auditions were on Tuesday. So it was defeating the purpose. Tuesdays are a big audition day because they read you Tuesday, they call you back Wednesday, they tell you Thursday, you go to wardrobe Friday, and then you shoot on Monday. So Tuesdays used to be a big audition day, so I didn't go to him no more. And then I hooked up with a black gay guy that had AIDS. That was brilliant. With him, I booked a Travolta movie. With him, I booked, like I was starting to get more callbacks with him. I started just doing private coaching. Just get a coach, pay him the $30.
Yeah.
And go in there, you know, you could go.
It makes a world of difference.
Yeah, you could go to Havana Chubbuck and pay $200 for a half hour. Or you go to the other chick, she wants $1.30 for a half hour. What's the one on La Brea? In between Hollywood Boulevard and whatever. I still get emails from her.
I go to Creation Station.
They do a podcast.
Oh.
This chick, and she's Jewish, cute, It was funny
The
because
Pretty Funny Women? No, that's Melrose.
No. This is an acting fucking
I know,
school.
but
That's a fucking cult in this town.
I don't know.
That Vanna Chubbuck is a great acting class that's not culty. Leslie Kahn is a sweetheart of a woman, but her school is a cult. They respect her like she runs it like.
That's what improv feels like.
She sleeps there from Monday through Friday. She charges $1.20 for a half hour. So if you have an audition and you want to go over the audition with her, it's $2.40 for the hour.
Jeez.
Wow.
So you better make sure you're working 12 or 15 days if you book her, you know, but she'll take you to the next level. There's people, I realize that I didn't know it all. You have to come to that conclusion that you don't know it all yourself. If you're a young comic, I don't want you to be at fucking Chico De Niro's acting school, but you got to be working the muscle somewhere.
Yeah.
I know for a fact there's an acting class up here in the valley in a garage on Saturdays.
In the garage?
Yeah, it's like $80 a week. It's Saturday. You're not going on the road.
Right.
So you might as well go over there on Saturday. Ain't nothing to do anyway. Go over there. Go over there on Saturdays from 2 to 3 and work that muscle. Learn how to read a scene. And then after you do that for 6 months, then you focus on auditioning. Just take cold reading workshops. Learn how to cold read. That's where your money is. Because once you take the cold reading and the 3-minute, you know those 3 minutes you do at the Comedy Store? Mm-hmm. How long are your auditions?
Yeah, about 3 to 5 minutes.
Do you understand why Mitzi Shore is a genius?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see where I'm going with this? So, the next time you come to me and you go, Joey, I don't know what's going on. I keep going in for these movies and they're all one line. What's Mitzi? 3 minutes. I got to figure out how to stay in that room for 3 minutes and do one line.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Do
good
you
point.
understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Everything is a plan here. Don't ask. You don't know. So do me a favor. Shut your fucking mouth. Go to an acting class because this all goes hand in hand. While you're talking to your dumb fucking open mic buddies at a coffee shop afterward about who's special
that's Lee.
sucks.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. You fall into that negativity. Go to an acting class, the cheapest one, and learn how actors are getting work.
Yeah.
Now,
good point.
Now you're about. And listen, man, for years when I was opening for Rogan, I was making a great living because I was booking 2 fucking co-stars or 1 guest star a month. You take a look at my IMDb,
That's
and
great.
some of them were bad and some of them were good, but I always knew that they were going to come in handy. You ever watched the Actors Studio with the black kid that did the movie with him and Katie Holmes just broke up? Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
You know, Jamie Foxx
yeah.
changed his name to Jamie Foxx.
So you can get up and open
At
mics.
the Comedy Store and shit like that, Jamie. But Jamie Foxx tells a great story about playing the piano. His grandmother would make him play the piano. He didn't want to play the piano. I don't want to play the piano. I want to play football. I want to play football. And when he got the call for the Ray Charles movie, he looked up and he thanked his grandmother.
Thank goodness I played
Don't
the
question
piano.
nobody. Mitzi sure got a plan. When she invented that 3-minute spot, that's a plan. That's to teach you how to do a production in 3 minutes. You're going to figure out they're not auditions no more. They're productions.
Right.
I got sick of going in for one-line co-stars. You know, the fireman. Hey, I'll get the baby out the window. You know, I'll take a hot dog with mustard. Hey, you ever see those things, people, those TV shows? Somebody has to audition for those.
It's true.
And you go crazy auditioning for those because you sit there for an hour outside the door. Listen to, hi, my name is Lee Syatt. Okay,
Yeah,
Monique
I'll
is
take
going to
a
read
size
with
11.
you. Yeah, I'll take a size 11. Thank you for coming in. And everybody who goes in, I'll take a size 11. So I would go in earlier and listen. Even though my spot was at 11, I would go at 10:20. And I wouldn't sign in. I would sit there and listen to everybody's audition. And I would make sure that whatever I did was going to be different, whether it
I
was
do
right
like
or
to
wrong.
listen to other people.
Gotta listen.
I do.
And you'll hear the same shit.
Yeah.
Hey, don't touch that. That's my bicycle. 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 And then you walk in and go, hey, that's my bicycle. Don't touch it. And they'll go, that's not the line. Well, it is right now. And when you go, now when the audition, when the producer sees that tape, and some guys like Clint Eastwood, David Chase, there's some guys who don't want you changing the lines. I remember I went in, and I'm not exaggerating. I lived here at a time when you went out for 3 auditions a day, theatrical and 2 commercials. Your day started at 9, and it started at 200 South La Brea, and it ended on Bundy, and then you had to go to Santa Monica at 5 o'clock to be a model for your hands.
I did do one thing.
You ever do those? They make you wait an hour behind. We're running 45 minutes behind. And you're looking at the clock in Santa Monica, and you walk in, you put your hand in puddles with soap, then you pull them out, and they're like, thank you, that was phenomenal. And you drive home like...
I'm on IMDb, and it just says, hands.
Really?
Whose hands were you?
I was my own, but I was like buying a dildo or something.
Oh, geez.
And it's just my hand.
It's crazy. And when you tell people these stories, they do not believe it. Last week, I'm sitting on the computer, and I hear bing, 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 bing. And I look over, and it's 4 Bank of America deposits. So that means it's SAG. When I get 4 of them in a row, that means it's SAG checks. So I look at one, 38 cents. I look at the other one, 1 penny. I look at the other one, $45, and the other one was like $300. But I looked at that 1 penny one. Like I deposited a check for it's direct deposit.
Right.
They deposited a 1 penny check. The best is when they would mail you.
Yeah, it would cost more to mail it.
It costs you to mail a 1 penny. And people are listening going, Joey, you deposited a 1 penny check? No, I have direct deposit from the union.
I would have deposited.
But when I look at those checks, I go, wow, I've been around for a long time. Like what I get in residuals every month, most people.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's nice. What I make on residuals alone every month, like I look at that and I go, I'm very proud of that number. It's not going to cover me or buy me a house, but it's a lot better than not getting anything.
Gas or something.
My wife will open them up and go, $4. I go, who sent you fucking $4 today? Anybody send you $4 today? No. So shut the fuck up. At least somebody had the audacity to send me $4.38. Okay? And someday that $4 will cover a Wendy's burger and a fucking drink. It really does. You know, I never understood the comic that regardless of, I don't like saying other people's words. You know, well, Bill Hicks said not to act. That's great. But Bill Hicks died without insurance.
But even when you do stand-up, a lot of times you're still saying other people's words when you're telling your story. Because you can't have it without both sides. So what's the difference, really?
I would love it. You know, like, when I came here, I knew I only had 1 shot in the majors. This is the major leagues. This isn't New York or Boston or Texas or anywhere else. I'm not disrespecting any other market.
Yeah, that's where Lee wants to go, Texas.
This is where decisions are made, you know. So I knew for me to be on top of my game, there were all these things I did. You know, you're looking at me, I took 4 or 5 writing classes in the IO. Am I a sketch writer? No. But I guarantee I got something out of those 5 classes. I went for like a semester and a half. He was the head writer of the show that Chelsea became a star on.
Chelsea Lately?
Before Chelsea Lately, that she became a star on. There was a girl, her, Kyra Sultanovich. There was a show about girls that would play nasty tricks on you.
Oh, yeah.
And he was the head writer. This had to be 20 fucking years ago. He was the head writer. That's who taught at I.O. Girls Gone Bad, something about...
Yeah, it was kind of like Impractical Jokers.
Girls behaving badly.
Girls behaving badly. I know I didn't get nothing.
Ken Jeong was in it, too.
Yeah, a lot of people did that show. That started a lot of people's career. But it's funny how I don't regret anything. I can't look you in the face I took the Christian Kaplan acting workshop. He was the vice president of casting at Fox. He was brilliant. I took a workshop by the guy who casted Godfather 2 and Donnie Brasco. I still have the paperwork. It was a birthday present from my wife, 2001. And I still go over that list before I go to an audition.
Really?
Yes. It's a list to check yourself.
Right.
And then you make different notes on the page that you're going to read so you know where the inflections are, what the character's thinking the moment before. He teaches you, he told us stories about the girl from Sleepers fucking hung her shoe around the fucking doorknob with her resume and a tape and put, how do I get my foot in the door? All those things of people who really want it. There's people who say, I want to go to Hollywood and be a star, and there's people who tell you exactly how they're going to do it. They tell you the steps on how they're going to do it. I paid for all those workshops. Even though I was a junkie, I went out of my way. I went to the lady from NYPD Blue, had a casting workshop, because not only it was worth the $80 or the $60, because if you're decent, at least they get to see you and they keep you in their memory
That's
bank.
the thing.
And listen, Christian Kaplan put me in Taxi.
There you go.
From the reading workshop. From that cold reading workshop, a month or two later, I got a call from him, and it was funny. Bobby Slayton had the role. The director was friends with Bobby and had given him the role. I went in there and knocked it off, and I got a call an hour later. Bobby's like, can you fucking believe this? I had 3 days on Taxi, and they hired somebody else. I go, what room were you playing? He goes, I was playing the bicycle guy in the mechanic shop. I went right over him because I had Christian Kaplan. That, so they used to have a paper that told you where all that stuff was available to you, where you could take all those workshops, and some of them are rip-offs.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Check with me, and I'll let you know. Like,
I will.
if you see one that's interesting on a Saturday or something, like 2 to 5, I can't do an 8-hour one. You're not going to do it.
Yeah.
That's too much information. Nobody could do those. But 2 to 5, if they show you a little film, they give you material to prepare, and they give you notes on your material, you fucking take a lot home. And at least you got that covered. And now you'll know why those 3 minutes are so fucking important.
She was the first one to do that 3-minute set?
I don't know.
Huh?
I was asking if Mitzi was the first one to do
matter.
the 3 minutes.
But think about it. How many people leave the comedy store going, I couldn't even tell a joke in 3 minutes. Well, if you want to get in here,
You got to do 3 minutes.
You better learn. You better fucking learn how to do 3 minutes.
It's true.
And while learning how to do 3 minutes, you also learn how to do a good audition. You learn how to be big in the room, how to play in the room. This is what nobody understands. This is why I tell young comics, just shut your fucking mouth. You don't have a fucking clue of what's going on. You don't have a clue of what the plan is in front of you. You have 50% knowledge about what the fuck you...
Oh, yeah. As soon as I think I know what's going on,
you don't.
Yeah. It
You
left
don't.
turn, and I'm like, I don't know.
All you need to do as a comic is go to acting class, write comedy, and get on stage. Everything else in this town is foreign to me. Like when people would come to me, hey, you want to do... I don't know what you're talking about. And I'll do those $100 day movies and those free movies. But I got to see that everybody's involved. When you first start out, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You just
I did student ones when I first started.
Yeah, you got to do student films. It doesn't matter. 15, then come see me. I did 15 or 16 of those fucking bummy things.
Wow.
None of them. Oh, we're going to take this to the USC festival. Get the fuck out of here. I did one where we shot it, then they actually sold it. You think they called me? No, they called somebody else. You get beat up, but it's camera time. You learn, and you meet different fucking people. You know, somebody sent me, I did Scare Tactics. Scare Tactics is back.
Really?
Yes, from 2001 and 2. It's on Netflix and it's rocking. The people that put it together have been hitting me up later to retweet it. And I saw one the other night on MTV where it was me and the guy that shoots Tony Montana in Scarface at the bar. When he's at the bar on the phone all fucked up, 2 Colombians get up and unload on him. I met him on a scare tactics shoot. This is a guy that did one of the greatest movies of all time. And I met him, and that's a complete different muscle. That's an improv muscle. That's a muscle that I come in as a tough guy and say, hey, you stole 20 kilos. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I got to scare you. I watched myself on those, and I was like, wow, that was a complete different muscle. But every muscle that you work all leads to the same
destination, I hope.
Which is the
anyway.
stage. And you're doing great with it. I really gotta. What's his new show? Felicia says you with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. Are you fucking crazy?
I know, isn't it crazy?
How many episodes?
It's just one guest role. I had like 7 lines with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. I play like a biker chick.
Did
and
you
I
tell
scare
Lily
them.
you're at the store?
I did.
And what did she say?
I did. I asked her to do our podcast because I just...
You fucked up, but you should have asked her to do. You should have asked her to come to the store first and then put the finger in her ass. But now you can't even get her to the store because she's gonna think she's gonna be bothered because she has to do a fucking podcast.
No, she said she'd be down. I don't know if she was lying to me.
Yeah, they'll tell you whatever they want to hear when they're there. Try calling her now. She changed her number already.
But Jane, I think she ended up liking me more at the end than Lily did. I thought that was... I just didn't think it was going to go that way.
How's
but they were
Jane
both
looking
great.
these days?
Oh my God, she
Tremendous.
looks so fucking good.
And she took good care of herself.
She's... I don't even want to say how old she is. Doesn't matter. She is up there and she still looks amazing. I don't know how she does it.
How is... When you worked with Clint, you worked with Jane, you worked with Lily, you know, later on in life I got to work with Rodney towards his latter years.
Oh, nice.
How was their mind? Like, were they sharp? Did you notice anything?
I think Jane is sharp. Lily, she still seems sharp to me, but I think she's always been goofy, and that's just kind of her personality.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
She's such a cutie.
And then Clint, I'd say the big thing with him, it just seems like he's slowed down. But I think he's with it.
When he shot that movie, he was 90, wasn't he? Or 89?
89, 88, 89.
88, 89.
Yeah.
I watched that movie 3 times already because it came on HBO the week after I'd seen it on a fucking plane. Like, I finally see it on the fucking plane. Now you want to come on HBO. So I watched it twice just because I'm such a fan of his. And just to see what it's like to shoot at that age. Like, I wish God gives me the power to watch my daughter grow and I could act at 65 just to see how. Like, I've done a movie with Paul Sorvino. You got to shoot him. The older people, you got to shoot them quick. There's no...
That's what I was asking you about.
What's that?
Paul Sorvino.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying to you before after we figured out the name. When I shot with Paul, rule number 1, you got to shoot Paul out. You ain't going to be here no 8 hours. It's the law of diminishing returns. Every hour, I mean, he was falling asleep in between takes. Rodney would fall asleep in between takes. You know, these guys are a little older.
Yeah.
You can't really run them like you used to, 12-hour day. Lily Tomlin doesn't want to do a 12-hour day.
No, but, well, she did. I was so surprised at what a long day that they did because they would, and then at lunch, they would break and they would go do a table read for the next day. And I was like, you're not going to take a little break at all? Like, come on. They would eat lunch as they're doing a table read. They have not stopped working. And then you got to think about Clint, too. He's down there in that Atlanta summer heat. And that's nothing to, scarf about or talk, whatever. I can't talk. But, at 88 in the middle of summer in Atlanta and he's doing scenes outside. I mean, a lot of us can't even handle that on our own.
When I look at those older guys, it's because your mind has to stay really sharp. You still got to know your dialogue, and you still got to fucking have your timing. And I just give them a lot of credit. I really do. Clint, I'm watching him the other day, and I could, please don't put Clint in like a fighting movie or something.
No.
Like De Niro. Don't do shit like that.
But SNL was right. He did give himself two threesomes.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
In the movie.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. They were fucking pissed at him.
Yeah.
So one night, that motherfucker
He
took a black
deserves it.
chick home that had a big ass too in one of the scenes, didn't he? Clint was still slinging dick in that movie.
He was.
He had how many threesomes in that?
2.
Two fucking threesomes. 88 years old.
Why do you think people at that age still work? Because like other professions, people retire. Is it just the money so good, or
No.
they actually have to do it?
It's love, man. It's love. If you ain't got love for this, it ain't ever gonna work. That's what
Yeah.
most people never really figure out. Then they sit here and after 18 years, they figure out you have to love this.
Yeah, because you take a lot of
Whether
abuse.
they pay you, they don't pay you, you do it out of love.
Yeah.
This is what you do. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm here to do one thing. I love doing comedy. You have to fall in love with something that it hurts you. It hurts you that you're not even at that level that you have to hurt. It's like when a girl breaks up with you. Those first 4 years, I still remember it being 9. All right, last night I found an old notebook. I went through some boxes this weekend, and I found my comedy notebook from 2004. No, yes, 2004. Do you know where I was last night, Sunday night, whatever the date was? What was Sunday night's date?
25th.
Do you know where I was August 25th,
And
2004? That was 25 years ago, right?
yeah, were you in
No,
prison?
15.
No, I was.
You were.
I found I did 2 spots that night. I did a spot at some bar, Harpo's or something that I don't remember. But the first spot I did was at 7:30. It was a line dancing class,
What?
and I came on at 8:30. Last night when I saw that, I went in the shower. Usually I drink espresso before I go. That's my secret.
Yeah.
Before I go to the comedy store, the reason why I go bananas on stage is because I'm a ball of espresso. I drive with no music, and I just get myself. I think of all the bad things people did to me as a kid.
Yeah, that's
and by
good
the time I get there, I just blow up. Last night, I left the house so fired up without espresso. I didn't even remember I didn't have an espresso until I hit Sunset Boulevard because I was so overwhelmed
With that honky tonk.
that I was 25 years ago.
15.
25 years ago, 1994.
Oh, 90.
Oh, 94.
94, I was opening up at a fucking line dancing night on a Sunday night.
That's
And here I was, 25 years later, not driving to a comedy club, but driving to the world famous comedy store. Now, do you want me to lie to you and tell you that night I was doing my 10 minutes in front of those comfy bumpkins that I even had the comedy store in my mind? It was nowhere on my radar, in my heart. It wasn't in my soul. I just thought I was just a loser comic.
You did? That's kind of
It's
sad.
the truth. First 4 years of comedy, you love. 5 years, you shouldn't feel that great. Things are not blooming in your world.
I loved it. Even
I
though-
loved it. I
Yeah.
loved getting shit on because life has taken 20 shits on you in your personal life.
Yes. And this was better.
So,
This is solid, Poops.
listen, I could sit there, right? Like, let's say I'm sitting there and somebody's just taking shits on me. That's one thing. But what if I got my tongue up fucking Charlize Theron's ass? I'll keep taking shit to the head while I lick a little clit to death. If I'm licking that little clit and I got that finger in her ass working and that little monkey's opening up and you're eating that thing, I don't give a fuck what you do to me. You could just keep throwing shit on my head. It doesn't really matter. I mean,
I
it
have
doesn't.
so many questions.
But it's the truth. When your first 5 years of comedy, you're just taking shit. If there's 52 weeks in a year, you're going to have one good week.
Yeah.
Which is 7 good days.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating. I'm being a little negative. You're going to have 13 good days where you feel good about yourself out of those 365 years. Then by the 6th, 7th year, you start feeling 50 good days. Like somebody's interested in you for a festival. somebody wants you
Yep.
to send in a tape. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make strides. But the first 4 years, you should be crying yourself to sleep every night. Your friends are calling you. They're getting married. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're
I don't
going
know.
skiing.
My first 4 years, I loved it because I felt like
Where were you?
in Sacramento.
Okay, you were at a nice place.
I didn't even know this was something that I could do, and then all of a sudden it just kind of shows up, and I'm like, you mean anybody can do this? I thought, like, I was so ignorant to how comedy worked. I thought somebody saw you on the street and said, hey, you're funny, come with me.
That's what I thought. I didn't know about specials.
Meh.
I thought a guy showed up and did an hour.
Yeah.
And then he got in his car and went home. And
Like,
then
how
they
that
played
lucky
HBO.
guy got pulled off the street to do
that's
that,
what I didn't know there was any work involved.
Yeah.
I thought anybody could just go up there and do an hour and just be. That's what I thought. I didn't know anything about the process. I didn't know the process of it.
Yeah, so when I found it, it was just like, I finally, because I had gotten out of the Air Force and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my
How long were
life.
you in the Air Force for?
6 years,
Oh, so you get benefits and everything now. Mm-hmm. God bless you.
except for
Smart
dental.
move. Except for dental.
But, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I found comedy, and it just felt like my whole life, everything made sense. Like, why did I go through all this shit as a kid? And why did I do, it just all made sense because I was supposed to do this. And I was so happy in the beginning. And you would go to open mics, and I would just drink, and I, would just have fun with my friends and do these open mics. And I was ignorant to how everything worked. And I felt like that was my happiest time.
That was your bliss.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that was my bliss. My first 4 years were a bliss because there was no headshot.
Yeah.
There was no resume.
I didn't have any of that.
There was no talking to me about an agent or a casting director. I knew nothing about that. All I learned how to do was how to go on stage. Mm-hmm. And I was in Boulder, where I used to have to hit poetry readings, and they throw me out. Get the fuck out, I'm back in it.
I've opened in front of music, anything. It's
it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So you did your open mic in Sacramento for how long?
4 years.
And you would do like the Punchline and all those places?
I didn't do the Punchline as much. I ended up at the Comedy Spot because that's where I started.
That's a good spot.
And I ended up managing there, so I did a lot there. But then we would do it open mics in the bars and anywhere else. We'd go to Laughs Unlimited, do that open mic. And sometimes we would go to San Francisco and try to hit up some places.
And how long have you been here for now?
I think going on 4 years now.
How long have you been a door girl at the store?
2.5 years.
And now we have the prestigious to say that we have the first female doorman.
Doorman, yep.
Doorman. How did you talk them into it?
I just kept hanging out there, and I wasn't shy about letting them know I wanted the job. And then I was working for Tammy upstairs in the belly room.
Bitch.
Yep.
The name of the show she runs.
That's the name of the show. I love Tammy. I'm not saying nothing bad about her. That's the name of the show. I love the name of the show. It's great to go on. You ever go on fucking whatever and it says bitch and you're like, that's my type of name. I like that name.
So Tammy had me out front making sure people went into the right direction, to the right room. And so since I was standing out there, I was like, you know what? I already know how to do this. I checked IDs at the gates and stuff in the Air Force. I was like, I'm just going to check IDs for everybody so they can see I can do this job. So I was just helping them out, showing people where to go, checking IDs so they could already see I could do it, And then I just kept telling them I wanted the job.
Are you happy you took the job?
Yes.
And how long have you been there for now?
2.5 years.
What have you learned?
Oh. I'm still pretty stubborn, but I do. I mean, look at the people you get to watch go up every night. The people you get to learn from, the people that I've gotten to open for has been amazing. I've gotten to meet Felicia there. And I remember the first time I met her was at the back door. And she came up to me and she introduced herself and all this. And I was like, yeah, I know who you are. And then I asked her to do a podcast. Because at first I thought, well, our voices would just be cool together, because I have more of a deep voice and she's got that soft voice. And I would have never met her, if I wasn't working the door. So it's opened up a lot of doors. Busta Rhymes kissed me while I was working the door. I mean,
Do you actually watch the comedy some nights when you have time?
Absolutely.
You actually watch and look and listen and...
People always comment because they're like, they can tell when I'm there because they can hear me laughing. Yeah, I love
You
it.
know, I was a doorman also.
I didn't know you were a door
At the
guy.
store on Sunday nights. She would let me double between the MC and the door. So I would MC and work the door. That's how good I had Mitzi. I loved her so.
Yeah.
She loved me. I never fucked her. Rest in peace. So I don't want people to say, oh, that's because you fucked her. She was 80 years old. You were eating that ass. No. She just saw I was a fucking animal. So she liked Cuban people. She was Jewish, but she lived in Miami for a while. And she was really impressed by the work. So when I first met Mitzi, she told me, I love it. I got a Cuban here. They break their backs for you and all this shit. You know, she kind of insulted me, but I don't give a fuck. It's Mitzi Shore, you know. She can insult me all the fuck she
That's how we feel about Joey Diaz.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck. But it's, how was the experience? It's let you know what you wanted to do in your life. Like, you've seen some amazing things up there. You and I both know it's an amazing, amazing place.
It's like
right?
no other, honestly. It really is. There's such a grunge feel to it too, that people have. You can just feel. You can feel that people have passed through there, and the things that have happened there, and the people that come from all around. You know, they know what they're coming to see, and they see the best comedy in the world. And I'm lucky enough to work there and meet these people and get to know them. I mean, there's a reason why all the open micers are trying to be door guys at the Comedy Store.
How many nights a week are you working?
Well, it just changed. I was doing phones for 3 nights or 3 days a week. And now it looks like I'm going to be, starting this week, I'm doing 3 nights a week again. I would just cover people here and there when I was working phones and do nights, just whenever people needed it. But now it looks like I'm going to do about 3 nights a week at the door.
And you act a lot?
Yeah, I'm
You
trying.
book a lot?
I've been doing better lately, so let's hope that keeps up. But yeah, it's been pretty steady as far as when I first started. You know, doing it. Like I said, the first movie I did though sucked. I was not good. You could tell I was like waiting for my lines. Like
But they could fix all that shit in editing, you know? Like, they could fix that.
yeah, but they edited it weird. They were like in a rush, and for some of the funnest scenes that I'd done, they ended up cutting out. You know that's how that happens a lot of times. And they made it all just back and forth between these 2 houses, and I was like, that's not the fun part. You need to break this up a little bit. So whatever. It was fun. It was the first like real set I got to be on. So that was a learning
Which one?
experience.
The Clint Eastwood one?
No, this was the first movie I did was a legit set. It was low budget SAG, but
100 a day?
125 a day. Yeah,
Not bad. Okay,
Yeah.
it went up a little bit.
yeah. But it was a learning experience, and they had everything, there. That as far as studio, craft services and somebody there for wardrobe, like you would have on any big studio production. So it felt like it was larger than it was.
I'm very proud of you for taking that route. A lot of comics are stubborn and they don't know what. I always didn't want to be here 20 years without a union card. Every fucking year I got a union card. And I have every one of them saved. Like, they're so special to me. And it's so weird that, like I told you, I went down to the store the other night, so excited, because 25 years ago, not only was I driving to a fucking country western bar to follow Achy Breaky Heart where they played it for a fucking hour, but I would also force myself to go there because I would have to return my daughter on those nights. So I was fighting the pain in my heart. And how bad of a comic I was. Here I was at a fucking Achy Breaky Heart joint when my friends were at the Comedy Works getting standing ovations and shit. But I think of all those things. I think about doing Spider-Man 2. And at Spider-Man 2, a lady would knock on my door, walk me to the gate, and they pay the guy to tell you, don't step on that cable. And then they would have a guy that would open the door at Sony, and you'd walk in, and then another guy would grab you and ask you if you wanted something to drink. And then when you got to the train, another girl would come and she'd fix you up all nice and pretty, and then you got on the train and you're like, wow, I feel like a star. And then
Yeah.
a year later, I did a $100 a day movie where you walk in your thing and your wardrobe is not hung up. There's no lunch. They let you leave the set for lunch, and you're like, what are you talking about? What if I get into a car
What if I don't
accident
come
at lunch?
back? Yeah.
Like, I was like blown away. Like, there's no food. There was an apple and a banana. And I just come back. And then, so I'm very proud of these things. I started with a SAG movie, and then somewhere along the line, it was like scale. Then it went down to like $450. I could live with those. When I did the Rodney movie, it was $459 a day.
That's
But
nice.
it was Rodney.
Yeah.
And I worked 11 days. And then I did another movie, and it was $250 a day. That's SAG low budget. Then there was SAG ultra low budget, which was $100. Then there's another SAG that's $50.
There is?
Yes.
I could go
I don't know
lower.
about
Minuscule budget.
I did a movie with a guy that was he was a featured extra. So he hung out, but I don't understand it because he had contact with the principals. So when you have contact with the principals, if they hire Jessica off an audition, and I come up to Jessica and say, can I get you a cup of coffee, and I'm an extra, all of a sudden I become a principal.
Well, that's because you had a line.
Because I had a line.
But I did featured like background work, extra work, but I didn't have any lines was the thing. We were in an improv class. So that we just had to like mime our lines or what we might be saying or whatever. So they just don't give you a line and they don't have to make you principal.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And wait till you do a soap opera. Because they're going to call
That'd be
you.
fun.
No, it's not.
No, I'd like to do it just to know what it's
Nobody
about.
talks to you.
Aw.
When you do a soap opera, nobody talks to you. Like when you do a movie, hi, I'm the first AD, I'm Jennifer. Let me walk you to your trailer.
Because Victor's been there for 30 years.
Crab service is over there. You check in on ABC. You know, at the end of Sunset, at the end of Hollywood, there's that. If you're going east, not west towards the beach, if you're going east,
On Hollywood.
on Hollywood Boulevard, instead of staying on Hollywood, go up that little block right by, I forget what, Hillhurst. There's a block that takes you to ABC, and you pull back there, and you give them your ID, and the lady looks at you and says, you're in office 12. Thank you. And you look, and you're like, I don't even know what office 12 is. And you start walking around, and you go to your office, and you sit down, and your suit's there, your clothes is there, but there's a teleprompter. And your sides are there, and the teleprompter tells you when you come up. You're not even allowed out there. It was very interesting. You said that about stand-ins.
Yeah.
Okay, because with this, you're not allowed out there. They'll say, scene 32 now, 48 is up next. Go out there. You don't basically even block. Like, they tell you where to stand on a soap opera. You do your lines. You ever do a line and you go, hey, the cabin's on fire. If you say, Schlade, they won't even make you do a line over. They'll just go, the cabin's on fire. Cut, moving along.
But I said fire.
You don't know. I did 3 days on General Hospital. I got in at 8, and I was in the car by 9:30.
Wow.
Yeah, soap operas wrap at 5. And they just move.
That's why Victor's been in it. I don't know what his real name is, but he's played Victor for how long?
I don't watch.
At least 30 years.
On General Hospital?
I think not Young and the Restless.
Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
Yeah. People that have those jobs, they die. That's it.
Yeah.
They're home by 5. Don't work Saturday and Sunday. You get there at 9. Some days you don't work. You get paid for the full week. It's not a bad fucking job at all. But it's weird because what were you saying about stand-ins earlier?
Oh, when I did Grace and Frankie, that was my first experience where I had a stand-in. Like somebody was paid to be my stand-in. So I didn't have to go out and, stand in the shot for them to set the cameras and do the lighting and all that. She did that for me. So I could just relax. And I was like, this is the way you're supposed to act.
Now, have you ever read anything about Gene Hackman?
No.
Gene Hackman is a phenomenal actor, somebody I looked up to. And he believes you never leave the set. So because he believes you never leave the set, I never leave the set.
Well, still, like,
If I'm in the scene,
across from the set.
there's times I would stand there and people go, Joe, you go sit down. I would stand there and just wait it out until the casting or Director was like, it's going to be a while. Go sit down. I'll stand there because I want to see the action and the pace of the set.
Yeah.
I don't ever just want to walk up on the set. I go to the set and I'll sit. Like if I have to shoot on a Thursday, I'll go to the set on a Wednesday. Go get lunch, say hello. Yeah, I'm there to get fitted, but that's a lie. I'm there to watch the action on the set, how he's directing, the style, how many takes is he doing, how detailed are they, orientated are they. I like going the day before, like wardrobe, when they tell you, just come to the set, you have to walk through. I'll sit for 2 minutes and just watch. I love watching.
That's smart.
Scene before me, I watch. Even if it doesn't correlate with my scene, I watch it because I want to know what they're doing. I want to see the cadence. I want to pick up the cadence, you know. It's so weird. Felicia and I had a conversation the other night that this is, I think life offers this, but our occupation offers it more. We never stop learning. You never stop learning. You never stop learning. And, you know, everything I've done in my life complements everything. You know, everything I've done, whether it's been the acting class, the podcast, the I.O., the road stand-up, the comedy store stand-up, the stand-up in the bars. I did stand-up on a bus one time with a Disney bus in New York. Yeah. All those bombings, they all come back to help you later on. They haunt you, but in a positive way. It's so weird. When you're in town, make an investment in yourself. Take an acting class for 120 days and see the correlation between, see why people keep the sets at 6 minutes and 3 minutes. I love people come to this town, I couldn't get my shit off in 3 minutes. Well, good luck.
Right.
Because you're not going to be able to do anything. An audition's 3 minutes, you dumb fuck. So it all goes back to hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Now you have a podcast with Felicia. The Liars Club.
Yeah, it's been going good.
I know it's going good. The reason why I can't do it is because I ain't going downstairs in that basement.
I heard.
If you notice anything about me,
We'll come to you.
if you notice anything about Uncle Joey in 22 years has been in that basement 3 times.
Okay. Yeah, because there's no windows.
Yeah, no, I just don't like it down there at all.
What would happen to you if you were in a basement? Like, is it all basements?
It's just a basement, and I was down there before it was finished.
Yeah, it was creepy when it wasn't finished.
Is that why you don't like the train in New York?
Well, I don't mind the train in New York. I just think that, you know, I don't want to be in a fucking subway with people on top of me with lights flying.
Very uncomfortable.
And somebody's going to stab me with a sword, you know. I don't need that shit right now. When I was 21, I loved the subway. There's action.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, you get into a fist fight. No. I love all that shit. The Comedy Store downstairs, I have my reasons. Just, it's too fucking creepy for me. There wasn't a difference between my Comedy Store tenure this time and my Comedy Store tenure last time. There's one difference. I don't date the waitress no more. If I learned something from Mitzi Shore, I learned I keep it light at the Comedy Store. I don't want to be involved in nothing. I don't want to be involved in nothing. In the old days, when you got involved with Mitzi with something, if that project failed, your ass was on that fucking ship. So I learned from the old days. I go there, I do my spots, and I leave. You ever see me promoting my own show there?
No.
There's a reason. I take from that place what I need to take from that place. I'm going to start doing a one-man show in the belly room. I'm going to start working it out.
Yeah.
Work out on Wednesdays, once a month. That I'll do. But you don't see me get involved in that. I don't go any deeper. I don't want to be any deeper. I don't want to go downstairs. The other night, your buddy, go upstairs to the bar upstairs. Does it involve climbing stairs? Yeah. I don't need to go upstairs. I can see the hills from here. I don't need to go upstairs and talk to somebody. When it came to the Comedy Store, my longevity was because I kept it light. Like the other day, I sat in the office and I heard a little bit of gossip, and I got in the car. I'm like, that's the first time I've heard gossip here since I've been back, because I don't let myself get caught up. I don't. It's a business for me. It's not a hangout. It used to be a hangout, but I still never did coke there. I used to buy my coke there. And I wouldn't do it before I go on stage. I'd do it afterward. But I always, even though I was a junkie, I always had a weird respect for the store. Couldn't do coke in front of Joe Rogan. He would hate me. So when I was at the store, I always kept at a certain pace. I never did Latino night. You know how many times she offered me my own Latino night?
Yeah, you could have had that.
I do the store a certain way for a reason. I keep it very light. I don't bother you. You don't bother me. And we all stay friends. And
All right, you don't have to do the podcast.
No. And I keep coming down here. And I keep coming down here 3 times a week. I won't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to take 8 spots a week and do all the belly room spots. And I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I'm not here to take food out of your mouth. I'm here to help myself, be a better comic, help the show be better. Fuck the Lee and Sebastian's down there.
Yeah.
I got to go down there and really rock it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why. But I never did. I never got into bed with Mitzi Shaw on a business level down there. Whenever people want to do something, I bow out. I keep the Comedy Store as a place that I don't ever want a problem there. I don't ever want a problem. And that's why I've been there. I walked out of there in 2007. I didn't get asked to leave. I walked out of there because I wanted to walk out on my feet, not walk out on my knees. That's the Comedy Store. You always want to walk out before they tell you to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I walked out on my own 2 feet because I knew Tommy was going to lose his head and the other fucking moron was going to get both their heads handed to him. So I had already done my stint. And if you're in any club, if you start the Funny Bone in Omaha, you got 6 years before you could have to move to LA. After 6 years, the club owner, you've already done New Year's, you've done Thanksgiving, you've done the 4th of July as a headliner, you've opened for everybody. What's your longevity at a comedy club when you first started?
I had never done New Year's. So this past New Year's, I had hit up Bert and I was like, can I do a guest set with you? I forget where he was. I think it was like San Jose or something. He was like, you can come down, hang out. And then I got there and he was like, do you really want to do a set? And I was like, well, yeah. He's like, have you ever done New Year's? I was like, no. He's like, I don't know if you really want to do this. How about you just sit back and watch this time? And it is different. Still haven't done New Year's.
It's a blowhard.
It's a blowhard?
Yeah. Because it's people that don't really go to comedy all the time.
Yeah, they're just out for the one
and
night.
They go out for the one night. It's fucking midnight. I got to stop what I'm doing to count. I look like Dick Clark to you. You know what I'm saying? I'll do New Year's. I've done enough of them. I did the first 20 of them. I did enough of them. I never got the money everybody talked about. I never got extra money. Oh, wait till New Year's. You're going to make a ton of money and all that. Everybody else got it. I never got it. I just dealt with drunk people and people being arrogant. And a couple of years ago, I just said it's not worth it. And I just stopped doing it. I'm not doing it this year either. I'm going away. I'm taking the girls skiing for the week up in Mammoth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here for New Year's. I wasn't here for New Year's last year either. Not worth it. Not to me at this level.
Right.
Not to me at this level. But I did the first 18 years of New Year's. I think I didn't do my first and the second. Everything after that, I worked New Year's. 2 or 3 of them going up at, I still remember fucking going up before Holtzman. In the main room.
I love Holtzman.
You know, me and Rogan, I would open for Rogan at the Improv. And then we'd do 2 shows, and then we'd shoot over to the store on New Year's Eve. And then I'd do the main room at the store for the check there, too. And honestly, I hated all 3 sets.
Yeah.
It was just fucking funky.
It's like one big bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. But you need to do them. So you need to learn how people act on New Year's, you know. One of the biggest debts I ever had was New Year's in Miami. I went on that stage cocky, boy.
Ooh.
And it was nothing but bumblebees and fucking snoring. I went back. I didn't even party. I just went back to my hotel room and cried. But then somebody told me it's a different audience. But that's all bullshit. They're all the same people. It's just, it goes in your head. New Year's, you start thinking differently. You think they're thinking differently. And it's just people that, I don't like New Year's. You have to really enjoy it to sell it, you know. So I like doing a New Year's show early to let people go do what they want.
Yeah, because it should be like a dinner and a show type thing. Yeah.
Get the fuck out. 9 o'clock, go to your buddy's house, jump up and down with the Filipinos. I don't want to do that. At 12 o'clock, I'm going to be home. I don't want to be clocking or counting down or whatever. So you do the Liars Club. Do you have a website?
I do.
What's the website?
The Liars Club website or mine?
Yours.
At funnyjesswellington.com.
Listen, man, you're making some great strides.
Thank you.
And I always wanted to get you on the podcast. I just wanted to be the right time, and now is the right time.
Have you seen? You have to look at my Instagram. Me and Felicia did that age app thing, and we took a picture, her and I together, and she looks like she's still doing a podcast with you. Because I looked exactly like you.
That's not good. That's not good. That's not good, but I just appreciate you, and I appreciate your heart and your balls as a woman, and nothing pisses me off when people say women ain't funny, and there you are, a fucking trooper working the door. So
thank you.
You have an open invite, and you always have a spot in my heart because you're the real deal.
Oh, I've had a great time. Thank you. This is an honor.
Yeah.
Because I am a fan and I watch it. So this is
it's
cool.
an honor to have you on, too, and hopefully do me a little favor. Maybe get together with Lee and bust a nut. He hasn't bust.
Like I said, I need a roommate, so...
You and Lee should move in together. You should tip-top into his room in the middle of the night.
That's a sitcom for sure.
Yeah, I know.
That's not a sitcom. That's a porno, cocksucker. Anyway, the Church of What's Happened Now is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Listen, hiring is a challenge. ZipRecruiter makes it easy, nice and easy. Hiring is challenging, but there's one place where you could go where hiring is simple, fast, and smart. A place where growing businesses connect to qualified candidates. That place is ZipRecruiter.com/church. Like I said, applications come in. ZipRecruiter analyzes each one and spotlights the top candidates so you never miss a great match. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans through thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience and invites them to apply to your job. ZipRecruiter sends your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, but they don't stop there. ZipRecruiter is so effective that 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. And right now, the church family can get ZipRecruiter for free. You're like, Joey, what are you talking about? Free. The holiday season's coming. You're looking to hire. This is the best thing for you to do. Go to ZipRecruiter.com right now /church, CHURCH, and find a qualified candidate for the position you're offering, all right? ZipRecruiter, they're the smartest way to hire. But right now, you got to go to ZipRecruiter.com /church. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. The church is also brought to you by, oh shit, it's my motherfucking people, my bookie.ag. Listen, it's time to make some fucking geeters. Football season's upon us. We got Khabib against Poirier. We got college football. We got baseball coming. We got everything on mybookie.com right now, okay? So if you're trying to bet on the NFL, baseball, MMA, whatever, MyBookie's got it. They got better incentives and more lines than any other sports book, period. And this year, they're running a fucking tremendous contest. $100 to enter. You pick 5 teams a week against the spread and rack up the fucking points. First place is $100,000 guaranteed. How do you like that? They just revamped their site, and it's looking fucking tremendous. So go take a look if you haven't already. Now, do me a favor. What we're going to do this year, what MyBookie.ag is going to do, is double your first deposit right now. That's how we're going to fucking welcome you. All right? Use promo code CHURCH. Grab a pen. CHURCH to get 100% bonus on your initial deposit up to $1,000. You heard right. Who's better than you? You deposit a fucking $1,000 and you get what?
Another $1,000.
Another $1,000 fucking dollars. So visit mybookie.ag today. That's mybookie.ag. And don't forget to use the promo code CHURCH when creating your account to claim the bonus. You bet, you win, you get fucking paid. And I'm going to have a little special treat for you guys starting next week before the football season on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you're fucking slipping. I also want to thank the best, Onnit.com. Listen, those coconut almond 7 gram of protein shoes they have, they've kept me alive all week. Fucking delicious. And the new Alpha Brain and the powder that you drink mixed with water, fucking even better. Listen, Onnit never stops. Onnit don't sleep. They creep while you sleep. Go to Onnit.com right now and look at the great selection of supplements. They're going to blow your fucking wig. Alpha Brain and the powder? Are you fucking kidding me? It tastes tremendous. I got the Alpha Brain. I got it stacked up. I got my Alpha Brain. I got my fucking Shroom Tech Immune. I got my Shroom Tech Sport. I'm getting ready for the fucking holiday season. If you think I'm going to be sick on Christmas Eve, fuck no. I'm showing up with a fucking big dick and a mistletoe. You know what I'm saying? So go to Onnit.com right now and press in.
Church.
And get 10% off delivered right to your house. Do not forget, the Ice House is sold out. There's a few tickets left for the Majestic Theater in Dallas. I think there might be a few left in San Antonio on the 14th. But the Chicago Theater's alive and kicking. That's on the 27th. It's going to be a fucking tremendous show. I'm not even going to tell you who's going to be on that show. Just go get tickets right after Labor Day. Go enjoy Labor Day. Go hang out with your cousins. Jump up and down. Eat potato tots. And that fucking, when I come in, I'm coming in fucking heavy to Chicago. So don't forget, the Friday the 13th, forget the Black Cat. It's Uncle Joey in Dallas at the Majestic. Saturday, I'm at the Aztec Theater in San Antonio. I think it's all sold out. And on September 27th, the Chicago Theater bitches. Be there or be square, you bad motherfuckers. I'm leaving you with a tremendous song called Endless Love by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross. All right? I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you motherfuckers Thursday morning. Tip top motherfucking Magoo. Kick this Mule Lee.